Hey everyone, welcome. This is Empath Abroad. My name is Selena, and I had to do this message. It came to me on the weekend a few days ago. I was laying in bed, and in my mind, I heard the silence speaks, be the silence. And I was like, I need to talk about that. There's a reason I got that message in my mind. And it's funny, I got it because it was morning. I was waking up out of my sleep when it's quiet. Um, Other than like my alarm going off, that was the only sound that was coming through. But yes, I think that finding moments where we can allow silence to speak, because silence does talk to us. There's so much that we can allow ourselves to hear in the silence. But I feel like that silence, what we're hearing through that silence, is actually us. Do we give ourselves the chance to hear ourselves by unplugging, by allowing our own aura, our own spirit and energy to be the sound that fills the silence? Can we be the silence? We can allow what's in us. We can allow what we may be drowning out through sound, through music. And I love music, not gonna lie. I love music. Music is like, it's just part of my blood. But I have moments where I'm like, I just need silence. I had a Sunday morning where I just was like, I'm not gonna play any music. I'm not gonna play anything. I just want to be in my own space, my own energy. And it was great. I felt like I got so much inspiration. I felt that I was moving in like this amazing state of flow of like getting things done. And I think that when we are hesitant to be in the silence, it's like, what are we shying away from? What are we trying to avoid? Because what is within us that needs to come out, that needs to be heard, that we may be, again, drowning out? How can we allow ourselves to be the silence? Allow ourselves to speak to us when we can let our own aura, our own internal voice feel the silence, to speak to us, to get those messages and get messages from higher up, from higher energy sources. Allow ourselves to feel the silence, because silence is speaking to us, but that's you. You're speaking to yourself through that silence, allowing that to carry you through. So, whoever this is meant for, I hope that you can embrace that silence. And when you're in the company of another person, isn't it great to have those comfortable silences? There's that line from Pulp Fiction with Uma Thurman and John Travolta where she says, like, I know I may butcher it a little bit, but something around the lines of, you've met someone good when you can just sit in silence together and just, shut the what up. You can just, like she says, that's when you feel you found someone special, when you can just let the silence be. And actually you can allow allow your energy and that other person's energy to communicate without it having to be verbalized, where you can just speak through each other's presence, through sensing each other's energy field. That can be what you feel. That can speak for you, and they can use that to speak to you. So just because it's silent doesn't mean you're really being silent. And I, as a kid, was always told, like, you're so quiet, but that didn't mean there wasn't something going on the inside. That doesn't mean I wasn't still hearing and sensing and feeling. So we shouldn't be afraid of the silence. We shouldn't be concerned about, well, why aren't we hearing something? Why aren't we allowing that communication, that verbalization? But sometimes how much more can be spoken through the silence versus what's verbalized? Actually, I think the true nature of us can be communicated better through the silence, because that is not being edited, filtered in another way. that may not be as authentic. So I feel the authenticity can really come in the silence. So are you allowing yourself to be comfortable with the silence? If you have a partner, what can you sense from each other through the silence? Like, if you're able to sit across from each other, can you sense what that person is thinking just through their aura, through their energy? Can you pick up their own thoughts just through that silence? Can you sense what they're already communicating to you through the silence? Yeah. So I feel like I needed to talk about this, and I know I didn't get this message out of nowhere, that silence is important, that we can just allow what needs to be communicated come through the silence. So silence speaks, be the silence. It's nothing to fear. It's elevation. It's connecting more to ourselves and also to others. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.